you guys would have certain advantages in building this. How does someone start from step one? What is the process somebody needs to go through in order to build up and create their own company operating system?
I like to think about it as 3 different steps. And so let me screen share again, and I will share how do I think about essentially getting your steps in, going from most simple to most advanced. So the first way to think about this is, how do you just start small? What is one workflow that you or your team does that is incredibly tedious that you shouldn't be doing again? So typically for many, many functions, it is, I write this email and I want this email to have a template that is automatically kicked off for me when XYZ things happen, or there's a sequence of things that happen. I don't want to input my data into a CRM anymore. I want that to be automated. So there's some degree of thinking about what is super mundane, takes a lot of time out of your day to day. And if that were to be automated away, you'd be thrilled about. And I'll give you one very product-oriented example, which is there are so many companies out there, so many PMs out there that spend a lot of their days responding to questions, escalations. So the sales team comes into a channel.
I'm notoriously bad at my inboxes. I guess there's a version of that where I seem cool and unavailable, but the reality is I miss sponsor emails, guest pitches, and stuff that my team actually needs me for. So I got an AI assistant. The sponsor of today's episode, Ariso. Ariso connects to my email, calendar, and Slack. Then I just chat with it over Slack, and it helps me with everything. It builds workflows to respond to emails, resolve customer issues, prep me for meetings. It actually comes to my meetings, updates its own knowledge, and remembers context from past conversations. So every time I talk to it, it already knows what I'm working on. I used to pay for Granola and Lindy separately. Ariso replaced both. One tool does more, and it lives right in Slack where I already work. Check it out at ariso.ai/Akash. That's ariso.ai/AAKASH. Here's the dirty secret about prototyping. You spend 2 weeks building a prototype. You validate your assumptions. Engineering loves the direction. Then what happens? You throw the whole thing away. Bolt changes this completely. When you prototype in Bolt, you're not building throwaway mockup. You're building real front-end code that integrates with your existing design system. So when you hand it to engineering, they don't throw it away. They ship on top of what you've built. I use Bolt every single day. I host my land PM job cohort on it. And honestly, I'm up till 2 a.m. some days just vibing in the tool, having fun, and building. That's when you know a product is good. When you're using it past midnight, not because you need to, but because you want to. Check out Bolt at bolt.new/Akash. That's bolt.new/AAKASH. Link in the show notes. Today's podcast is brought to you by Pendo, the leading software experience management platform. McKinsey found that 78% of companies are using Gen AI, but just as many have reported no bottom line improvements. So how do you know if your AI agents are actually working? Are they giving users the wrong answers, creating more work instead of less, improving retention, or hurting it? When your software data and AI data are disconnected, you can't answer these questions. But when you bring all your usage data together in one place, you can see what users do before, during, and after they use AI. Showing you when agents work, how they help you grow, and when to prioritize on your roadmap. Pendo Agent Analytics is the only solution built to do this for product teams. Start measuring your AI's performance with Agent Analytics at pendo.io/Akash. That's pendo.io/AAKASH.
Okay, so let's move into Slack and see what this might look like. A lot of companies, if you just go into any Ask product channel or any channel, you see so many success folks, support folks, sales folks, other teams hitting up that channel, asking people, hey, I have a question, I have a feature request. And so the very small workflow that we did, and I'll go all the way down, is we created a Slack automation that essentially said, look, when a feature request comes in, we typically spend a bunch of time going back and forth asking about how many times was this asked about? Send me the gong recording where I could watch what the customer's actually saying. What is the impact of this for your customer, which requires some degree of judgment from the person managing the account? What is actually going on here? Give me some more details. All of those things usually require back and forth. So again, if I go back to this system of how do you think about a place to start, what is something that you do over and over again that you could really easily automate? And that automation for us was as simple as, hey, let's just automate what we ask someone to fill in, and then what often happens is you then have to triage it. You say, hey, Is it for this team or that team? Is it for this PM or that PM?
Here's the dirty secret about prototyping. You spend 2 weeks building a prototype. You validate your assumptions. Engineering loves the direction. Then what happens? You throw the whole thing away. Bolt changes this completely. When you prototype in Bolt, you're not building throwaway mockup. You're building real front-end code that integrates with your existing design systems. So when you hand it to engineering, they don't throw it away. They ship on top of what you've built. I use Bolt every single day. I host my land PM job cohort on it. And honestly, I'm up till 2 a.m. some days just vibing in the tool, having fun, and building. That's when you know a product is good. When you're using it past midnight, not because you need to, but because you want to. Check out Bolt at bolt.new/Akash. That's bolt.new/AAKASH. Link in the show notes. I hope you enjoyed that short clip. You can check out the full episode here.